You got boots, hammer, rupees.
Half magic, that's a good one. I don't think I've seen half magic in an early chest before.
Alright. Got... Oh, and Chex pulling a difference here. Grabbing the burrito out of the sanctuary, and he'll probably follow up. Going to the house now. Picking up the heart piece.
And we get Fiesel syncing up everyone, so we're all on the same time here. Getting an early map check in. Looks like a red pendanted Hera and 2 crystals in the light world for Desert and Eastern.
Very nice. And bombs on the tree pool on our bottom runners here. That's going to be a big, big help.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what you want to see.
Chex going for bomb farming here. In the Grove spot.
Yep, trying for those 50-50 bushes. The uncle only has a little bit of law for us today. Let's see what he has in the chest here. A bomb upgrade.
Yeah, if our runners remember that tree pool for a while, and who knows how long we'll need it, the extra capacity would be quite welcome.
Yeah, especially with the bombs. I feel like you start out with a decent amount of potential arrows in your quiver, but more bombs is always nice.
Oh, definitely. Alright, we're seeing our bottom 2 runners make this play. Over towards Kakariko and the forest.
Yep, it looks like TripleZed doesn't even want to know what the lumberjacks have for him today. He heads straight to the Lost Woods.
An interesting route, and I happen to miss what Chex found on the race game. But he didn't decide to do it, so I can't imagine it was all too much.
Yeah, sadly I missed it too, but I'm sure we'll find out from one of the other runners.
And that appeared to be 10 arrows or an upgrade of the same.
Yeah, definitely not something you want to go back for, probably.
Oh, and Zed picks up power gloves by hitting the forest first.
Ooh, alright, very nice find. That's really the first important item that they're finding here so far.
Yeah. We've got our runners going every which direction in about the same place. Oh, and chat calling out bombs at the race. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. So far, everyone is opting to pick up that heart container that they're finding in the forest. I can't really blame them.
Yeah, this early on, who knows? You might get forced into a blind fight or worse.
Okay, so we're getting the first Thieves' Hut check. There's a little shield, not really what you want to have, but...
And the flippers.
Okay, we'll take those. The flippers are pretty good. While Chexhuman on top is diving into the well, gets an arrow upgrade. Oh, hello. That's a hook shot.
It is. That's going to be real easy for all of our runners to find. We're just a lamp away from a whole lot of Death Mountain access. But that is a dark room that a lot of our runners are well practiced in, so it may be a play we catch a lot of.
Yeah,
actually,
we'll have to see.
Do you think being blind has anything to do with that hook shot?
You mean he poked his eyes out with the hook shot?
Yeah. Like the Red Ryder BB gun. Shot his eye out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now that you say that. That's why you don't, you don't play with the pokey stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're really all four of our runners just finishing up the Kakariko route here, all gonna pick up their hookshot and whatever else they need. It looks like Chexhuman so far has not gone to the Lost Woods yet, but he might be heading there right now, so he's gonna pick up his power glove.
So, meanwhile, TripleZed pulled out to, it's like a 1 or 2 heart lead seemingly out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, very interesting.
I don't know if we'll see that gap close or not. Looks like Solski's got it now.
Yeah, looks like that last heart piece is still missing for
Wow.
both the Solski and sonicam, so they should be right on track here in a second.
Mm-hmm. Chex manages arrows from his tree pool. Did not see what level he was on there.
Oh, the bottle lender giving a real crappy deal.
Oh, yeah. Was it blue or green?
I think it was red at least, so it's not all terrible, but you know.
But certainly not good.
You definitely don't want to pay $100 to get 20 back. That seems like a bad investment.
Yeah, no.
Alright, so I'm curious to see where our runners are going next. It looks like TripleZed might be checking out the back half of Escape. 3 chests there.
That's a solid move. We got that early power glove, and he's got the bomb, so...
Can't hurt to look. If he does find the key and maybe a lamp in here, he can do the rest. He might opt to do it in the dark. I'm sure all of our runners are... Ooh, hello.
Yeah, we got a sword and 150 big ones.
Alright, that's not too bad.
Yeah. Gives us some options anyway if we do manage our way up to Harrow or any of the other dungeons anyway.
And it looks like Chexhuman decided to go to Death Mountain first. He's currently in the dark cave where he's going to be picking up his old man. Maybe not his old man personally, but you know.
Well, it's an off-asked question. Where is Link's dad in all this? Hangs out with his uncle.
That is a very good question.
Man, looks like we're gonna get another dark room from TripleZed as Solski goes to set up the Houlihan.
That's an interesting play.
Yeah.
I guess since he has the flippers, he wants to check out the Zora area. Not the worst idea, I guess.
Nah, I mean, he knows without much travel that he's gonna be able to hit that 500 mark. It isn't even gonna have to worry too much about losing the fake flip to an errant shot.
Yeah, and I guess it's pretty easy for him to route it in. He's gonna check Swamp or the dam and then the mini Moldorm cave, and then he can just jump in the water, look on the island, check out the hobo, and swim back and take the warp up to Zora. Meanwhile, we got
a bottle and a shield.
Yeah, a bottle and a shield out of that mini Moldorm cave.
Not terrible, not terrible.
Yeah,
check on Sick Kid.
Yep, we've seen Sick Kid hold some important stuff already, so... Looks like the Lake Island only holds 20 rupees today, so we probably won't see anyone go back for that.
Yeah, Spec Rock has 21 rupees in total, 20 on top and 1 inside.
Oh, so, that's quite disappointing.
Yeah, so the mirror not coming in too big yet, but, you know, it'll probably find some purpose. And another sword at Hobo?
Yeah, I think there was a sword.
See what our trackers think of that.
I'm quite surprised to see that sonicam has apparently... Oh wait, the sword was in the Peck of Escape, right?
Right.
Oh, okay.
And so, if our players remember to put the flippers to work, then we may see a pretty early Master Sword.
Yeah, and that always makes you scared that Agawan might be required.
Indeed. That Master Sword being capable of dispelling the barrier there.
Still gonna have to find the lamp first, so there's still a chance, but that Master Sword definitely has to put it in the back of your mind. I mean, admittedly, none of our players have that Master Sword yet, but
certainly available. Not too much out of a Paradox Cave today, while there was even less in Ice Rock Cave. We did get a bottle off the mountain.
Yep, so that's our second bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I guess I'm curious where they're going next. As I said, Zora is still available, but only Solski has the funds for it so far. Of course, Sahasralas Hut and early dip into Eastern if they so choose.
Yeah, it's a play that has to come up eventually. Especially with it being a crystal, but I don't know, players are often reticent to make that walk from Link's house for some reason. I guess it's quite a bit of time, but with the number of items potentially available, we've seen it make a difference in the beginning of a lot of runs that looked like they were going to Aga.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you can avoid doing Aga 1, you might save some time. Of course, if you spend all the time searching stuff in the overworld and it turns out it's nothing, you've wasted a whole bunch of time, so...
Right.
It is a bit of a gamble, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll see if it ends up coming in here. If one of our players ends up on the way to Aga, we'll have to get their thinking after the fact. But we are going to see sonicam go for that Master Sword now. Little does he know. While Zora gives out a classic love lesson.
Yeah, just a big bunch of love. Alright, so sonicam, the first of our players with the Master Sword. Still lacking the lamp. We'll see what he decides to do. And it looks like Solski is now checking out the Lake Highway Island and is gonna pick up his Master Sword from the hobo.
Right on. Yes, we're waiting on a lamp to give us some direction. And to see which way the players will take it. Other than that, we need a bow to get through Hera. A hammer, or a bow to get through Eastern. A hammer would get us to Hera. But none of our Dark World access matters, of course, until we get the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, and I think at this point they really only got Sahasralas Hut, Eastern, and Agina's Cave left. I checked pretty much everything else, except for Escape, which Solski might be heading to.
Oh, this is true. They have not yet gone down to where Zelda would have been if this weren't open mode.
Hashtag things in Zelda's chest.
That's right, folks. Remember to get your guesses in with hashtag things in Zelda's chest. What do we think is there today? I go with my classic heart. Biologically accurate, I hope.
Yeah, that would make the most sense. That's totally true.
Who knows? Maybe there's a bit of fire. Maybe she gets heartburn with a lamp. Oh,
woo.
Brain food calling out the ice rod in chat. Oof.
Oh man.
Does he get another Master Sword incoming for TripleZed?
Yeah, and interesting to see that Chexhuman has apparently not gone for a single sword yet, while all of our other runners are already on the Master Sword.
Yeah, that is surprising. He has by far had the most well, when I say inconsistent, I only mean with respect to the other runners. He's obviously accomplishing pretty much the same as them besides the swords, and they are in 2 relatively quick checks.
Yeah, I have no doubt that he will check both of those places at some point.
And there was a bottle, another bottle, Oh, Sick Kid. No one's gone to Sick Kid.
Yeah, very true.
Thanks for the memo, Zelda.
Now that we have 3 bottles, it's about time to check out that guy.
Yeah. But Solski thinks otherwise.
Yep, wants to check the old man out first, maybe take the early dip into Eastern, you never know.
Yeah. We have some clever descriptions going on in chat for the item that was found in Zelda's chest. I was thinking it was something of an iron lung, but you do you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, who am I to argue with chat?
But we will see the Sahasrala check, bombs, and a blue mail.
Alright, not really a progression item, but a blue mail is still nice to see.
Definitely.
It looks like Chexhuman just picked up his first sword after his visit to the hobo, so finally he can defend himself.
That's going to be good news for him. That hookshot is useful in a couple of places, but it's not the end-all for most enemies. And as we see sonicam put it to use on the Barrys at Moldorms in Spiral Cave.
Yeah, probably the best use for it as far as killing enemies goes. Another good one is those weird little cricket guys in Thieves Town.
Oh yeah, those guys hit like a truck for what they are.
Yeah, definitely. So getting rid of them in one shot with the hookshot is really helpful.
Indeed. Alright, we have Zed picks up some bombs and gonna fancy his way on around.
And it looks like Solski is going for that early EP dip. We have only seen a burrito so far, so all 3 items still at large.
Indeed.
He might also be doing a little bit of a sequence break if he does not find the lamp in here, which, you know, I'm sure all of our runners
do.
Okay, that is Dark World access, minus the Moon Pearl, I suppose.
Indeed. And so, yeah, until we get the Moon Pearl, this still points to Aga 1 after this. We do see Chex now is going to be making his way towards the castle as well, picking up some of what other players have already been through.
Mm-hmm.
We have chat immediately calling that Sick Kid will have the Moon Pearl after the 3 reminders about Sick Kid.
Yeah, it does feel like he has something important. I mean, with all the bottles we've already gotten so far.
Yeah.
But knowing him, you know, he's a little bit of a troll. He'll probably just hand over a 20 and laugh it off.
Right. Well, we will see Solski navigate by way of hookshot, putting it to use for some traversal as well. Very nice.
Yeah, it's super helpful in that room if you can line it up correctly and those Stalfos don't really get in your way. You just pull yourself to that skull that has the key and then pull yourself back right to the door.
Indeed. And Amatsu DF in the chat asks if Super Bunny Cave is accounted for in the logic. It is not. It is considered a glitch, and the rules used to generate the seed do not require glitches, although the tournament itself allows for minor ones, such as Super Bunny, which gives that cave its name. And the way that glitch works in particular involves mirroring without the Moon Pearl as you enter a door. When you make it in, you'll be able to operate as if you had the Moon Pearl, essentially, opening chests and the like.
Yep. So it looks like there's still 1 item, I believe, missing from Eastern. We found the mitts and 300 rupees, if I saw that right, and the rest is locked.
I think so. So
Or
we'll have our crystal Armos holding an item, as it looks like Solski's going to make his way to Agina and hopefully remembers to check Sick Kid. It's a fairly easy check to make.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he doesn't remember it, but you never know.
Yeah. We now have 3 of our runners having gone into or through Eastern in as much as they can.
Alright, I feel like Agina is going to pay out, because at this point they're really sort of out of options. I mean, as we say, the Sick Kid is still left, but after the Sick Kid in this, I'm kind of stumped.
Yeah, the first old man, or sage rather, didn't give all that much, and Agina just has a bomb upgrade.
Oh wow, so I suppose the Sick Kid has the lamp. I think that's what the logic would require for it to be.
Oh, that's true, because we actually don't even have the tools for an Aghanim run yet anyway.
I suppose you could also have the Moon Pearl, so it's going to be the Pearl or the Lamp.
Right, it's going to be the Pearl, the Lamp, or potentially the Hammer.
Oh wait, we already... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but chat just reminded me, and if you look at Chexhuman's tracker, we already saw the Sick Kid, just we didn't see it apparently.
Oh! See, I thought chat was calling it out. My apologies. Alright, so Sick Kid will have the Pearl, and we'll have our second runner with it. One more time for us commentators. And
look at that surprise! The Sick Kid has the Moon Pearl! Who would have thought?
Craziness. But yeah, between the Mitts and the Moon Pearl now, we're going to see Solski make a play for the Village of Outcasts. Expect. But he throws me a miss.
I forget that's where he would have gone, but apparently...
Oh, Dark... Death Mountain in the Dark World. He's going to go up to Eastern Death Mountain.
Okay, well, I mean, it's possible. It's just still a sequence break, which is kind of why I'm a little bit surprised, but yeah, why not? It has quite a lot of items over there, so...
Yeah, that's, That's an interesting choice. I'll tell you what, the one thing characterizing this seed is it's a seed of multiples. All of our upgradable items seem to have at least one upgrade. We've got multiple bottles for our runners. So I'm thinking if we don't get the butter sword out of this, it's going to be a bit disappointing.
Butter sword 25 minutes in? Sure, I can get behind that.
Oh, I just mean it all. But yeah, 25 minutes in, well then Solski's got to get on that.
Yeah, I mean, apparently he hasn't been up here at all yet, so we know he'll not find anything in the light world, but it'll be interesting to see what he can find in the dark world.
Indeed. Now we will see TripleZed, having picked up his Moon Pearl from Sick Kid, go for this play to the Village of Outcast.
Yeah. Also, not a bad play. I'd say the more quote-unquote standard routing of this.
Right, not involving the sequence break.
A single arrow. Okay, that wasn't really worth it in the chest game there.
Oh, we had a map check and chat's filling us in.
Oh, okay.
Boy, I blinked. And there's the book. The Sea House.
Okay, so that opens up desert. Might still be boots locked. We won't find out until one of our runners decides to actually go in there. And there's a little bit of a longer map check. We got Crystal 5 at Swamp, Crystal 6 at Skull Woods, and the green pendant at Pod, and the blue pendant at Thieves Town. Man, isn't it always sad when Thieves Town is a pendant?
Yeah, it's it makes it an interesting play because you can get those 4 items so quick, and then I feel like blind always has something. But obviously it's a randomizer, so it only feels that way.
When we see sonicam doing the immediate play on Skullwoods, as we've mentioned in other commentaries before, Skullwood seems to always be paying out, so...
And there goes another upgrade to our shield.
Oh man, laser shield. A riot shield, I suppose. 25 minutes in. Not quite a butter sword, but you know, we're almost, right?
I like calling it the Texas Toast. Goes with the butter sword.
Yeah, that works for me.
Well, yeah, so these chests all basically free here in terms of items needed to get them. As soon as you can get in the door, you can get to them.
Well, sonicam got the items out of this dungeon real quick, like. He got his shield and found an ether. We don't really know if it's required yet, but we'll definitely find out. Looks like we're getting a quick bumper cave check. Hard container, okay.
Vanilla, as I remember.
That's a good question. I don't remember what's up there normally.
And now Solski making his way over to Eastern Death Mountain. So, what does Alec Baldwin have for us today, Herf?
I'm always, since it happened to me, I'm always hoping for the shovel out of the game.
That would be my favorite thing to find, for sure.
I think that's always my favorite here. I mean, I'm sure our runners would rather get some really good progression items, but, you know.
Zed just gets a little bit of love.
Probably the most boring price you can get, except for rupees, I suppose.
Yeah, especially since there's already so many darn rupees in there. Speaking of, a whole bunch of them from Super Bunny Cave for Solski. And Zed's gonna work on the frogs.
Alright. Gonna go for a little bit of a Froggy World tour first, and then he's probably gonna save and quit and bring him right back. And we see our early dip into Thieves Town. As I said, it's a pendant dungeon, but as you said, you get those 4 chests real quick like, and, well, it's not surprising to have Thieves Town hold something that you really, really want.
Indeed. Yeah, we've seen it come up big on all 4 of its possible items. Meanwhile, Solski found Ether emblem on Turtle Rock, so... Where was Ether again? We do have sonicam had found it.
It was in the second chest of Skullwoods, or rather in the second item that they got out of Skullwoods.
Gotcha. Oh, that's both of them out of Skullwoods then, so whenever they get that fire out, they can go back and finish off Mothula.
Yep, and if they do find the required items, it might lead to an early dip in the Turtle Rock here.
Indeed.
Oh man, and look at that. If our trackers are to be trusted, and I'm 100% sure they are to be trusted, we got sonicam on the Tempered Sword.
Oh, that puts that identifies all of our sword locations.
Yeah, pretty much with what TripleZed just got.
Yeah, so Escape Hobo, the Bombable Hut in the Village of Outcasts, and Thieves Town. Meanwhile, the world tour continues for Zed.
Yep, it does look like he's finally on his way, though. And Solski remembering that he does have the Titan's Mids after killing a couple of bushes just for the sake of it.
Yep.
Oh, and the chat is informing us that they also got half magic out of the hype cave. So the hype caves have been hype, actually.
They'll certainly make things easier as they get into Turtle Rock and Ice Palace.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, all that Froggy World Tour just for $20.
Boy, oh boy.
There is Tempered for Solski, so as soon as as soon as Solski actually dips his toes, or maybe TripleZed as soon as he gets back to the Dark World, well, either way, I think Butter is not out of the question is what I was trying to get at.
Indeed. Yeah, our runners have all but one thing they need to get through Thieves Town, and even then they can beat Blind. There's just a chest they made behind without the hammer. So we'll see them probably dip in there just to check things out.
Yeah, I feel like Thieves Town, with how little requirements you have to actually get in there and get it done, it's always a good play. It's always worth checking out.
Indeed.
I mean, they might want to skip it until they have the hammer, just to not have that risk of leaving that one chest behind, but other than that... Stump Kid giving up his terrorist ways, giving away all his bombs.
Is that how he ended up in the Dark World? Blew himself straight through the dimensional void. We got a blind fight starting up on sonicams.
Yep, getting ready to kill that flying weird bed cheat monster.
Easy peasy. Very well done.
Yeah, beautiful fight. No problem
in the
at all.
mushroom.
Oh boy. Here goes a fetch quest. Okay, we're seeing another hype cave from Chexhuman. Gets that half magic.
With that book in hand, and if we ever do make it up to Skull Woods, we might see a pen check.
Yeah, it would not be the worst play. I mean, even if it turns out it's nothing, at least you know that it's nothing instead of having to wonder about it like 2 hours in.
Yeah. Ain't nobody got time to go back and check it anyway.
Exactly.
And to be honest, I'm not sure if we got all of the items out of Thieves Town. Chad is asking.
Yeah, I'm trying to count. What did they find? They found a sword. They found a mushroom, so that's 2.
And I want to say there was at least
like,
1 rupee.
Yeah.
And we've got multiple different things coming from chat that kind of corroborate that the compass is going to be in that chest.
Okay, so apparently we don't have a sword in TT.
Oh, well then where was?
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised.
Maybe it was the bombable hut in Dark World.
Yeah, we probably just missed it. We apologize, obviously.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a bit hard to pay attention to all 4 people at once, but
Indeed.
we try our best.
Shout outs to chat and our trackers keeping on top of things.
Exactly. We always got you guys to help us out, or yell at us, whatever you feel like.
All right.
And
Sonicam works on a world tour. We've got Zed is heading to the desert.
Yep, gonna pray for a second here.
Move these rocks, move these rocks, move these rocks.
Alright, that has to be a thing from now on. Okay, and now Chexhuman will find out that he could theoretically already open Turtle Rock if he wanted to. Not really any reason so far, but you know, it's good to know that you don't have to go looking for any more of the medallions. At least until you get to check Meyer, so...
Indeed.
Okay, TripleZed gets a big key out of that first chest. Let's see what is on the torch. It is the mirror! Oh my god.
So, we've got Crystal Swamp, which means boots are required.
Absolutely.
Alright.
So now the question is, how trolly will our boots be?
Indeed.
I was gonna say boots are gonna be in G Tower, but that would be a little bit hard.
Yeah, unfortunately. And already chat is asking that we have pedestal boots.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, you can't get to Tower of Hera without the mirror.
Yeah.
You can definitely get into Pod, and we already saw someone complete Thieves Town. Did I just see sonicam pick up something red at the blacksmith? I think it was only 20 rupees, right? We saw that before.
I think so, yeah. I remember you calling it out specifically.
Yeah,
And
okay.
also, speaking of call-outs, chat confirming on a revisit from one of our runners to Thieves Town that we're looking at an item in the big chest is now the understanding. So,
Okay,
thanks to chat for that.
definitely. And also, it looks like Land Molas has one item, so unless they find that fire source and probably boots, they won't be coming back to the desert for a while.
Indeed.
Now, Chexhuman and sonicam both on their way to desert. I guess sonicam has to check Agina first, but he'll probably dip into desert afterwards. They're all gonna find out, well, I guess I'm not getting that mirror anytime soon.
Right. At least they know what they're looking for at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely an important piece of information to have. We got a question from chat here. Can Land Molas have boots? He totally could have the boots.
Oh, absolutely.
At least in this situation, yeah.
That'd actually be quite the twist.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
Because it would be sort of a forced double dip, but not in the sense that our players have gone to desert first to come back to beat like Molas, because they didn't get anything that would help them get the lamp or the fire rod, but rather just the backtrack. We also know that because oh wait, no, I had something backward in my head, so strike that. But we do see Solski is going to begin to show Blind what else is a piece of cake.
Oh, is he gonna make the head fly away? And there we go.
Oh, very nice.
Good.
B strats on Blind. He is taking a couple of shots, but finishes it off.
Yeah, no big deal at all. If you can get rid of one of the heads, it gets significantly easier to deal with the last phase. It's much less bullet hellish.
Indeed.
Just make that bee chase that head off the screen, and it's never coming back.
And it shapes up as a solid fight for Solski, as Zed's now about half-ish way through the dungeon.
I'm interested to see where Chexhuman is going next. He might be heading up to Death Mountain now.
Yeah, working on another sequence break.
I guess he just wants a Dark World warp in Village of Outcasts, or rather Kakariko, to get back to the Dark World. Meanwhile, Solski's gonna pick up his Riot Shield and then pick up his Ether. I think he was the one that checked Turtle Rock earlier, so he will also know that that Ether find is real good for him.
Indeed. Oh, we're gonna see an Ice Palace play from Sonicam. Or no? Oh no, Zora instead. And wrong still, am I? As he goes to drop off his mushroom.
Yeah, not a bad play either. I mean, you never know what that witch is hiding, and getting that mushroom from blind, you kind of hope it has to lead to something. Knowing her, it's gonna be, I don't know, $20 or a heart piece or something.
Arguably even worse.
Yeah, definitely. Arrow upgrade, probably that upgrade that you want to see the least.
Right, as we mentioned, you get quite a bit of a head start on those compared to the bombs. Yeah, and then chat pointing out the reason the Ice Palace play wouldn't have made sense anyway, and probably why it didn't occur to me, was a sheer lack of fire.
Yeah, they're definitely lacking fire in any sort of form.
Now TripleZed in the final stages and the final strike even of his blind fight. We'll have to see just how soon he gets disappointed by that mushroom.
We're getting our first Quakefish check from Solski.
Oh, there it is.
All right, the fire rod. We will take that.
Yeah, it's going to open up quite a few things for us.
Yep, they can go back to... they could go back to Desert, finish that up. They can go back to Skullwoods, finish that up.
Right.
What else can they do with that fire rod? I think that's really the only two things at the moment. Oh yeah, and of course they can now go to Ice Palace.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I'd forgotten it even with having just mentioned.
Solski gonna go check the pyramid item and then, well, maybe take a trip into Pod. He might not want to with that fire rod he just found.
Yeah. Although, depending on his comfort level with those dark rooms, it may be just the thing he was looking for. And silvers on the pyramid.
Well, we definitely will take those.
Yeah, they didn't get too far out of their vanilla spot. Certainly a little easier to grab, not requiring the super bomb to get at them.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like the fairy was cleaning out and just, threw them out on the pyramid. Now TripleZed gonna pick up his fire rod.
Very nice.
Send him right back to either Skullwoods or Desert. And it looks like Solski is indeed going for that pod play. It is not a bad decision. I mean, there's quite a few items in there. Depending on how comfortable they feel, as you said, with the dark rooms, they can finish most of it.
Right.
Let's just hope they don't immediately get bow locked. That could still happen, of course.
Of course. Yeah, taunt them with an early big key or just drop in a burrito or a compass.
We're going to find out in a second here while Sonicam is right on his way to pick up that fire rod.
Although what could be very interesting here is to find a lamp.
That's very true. That could be something.
Or maybe a flute. But it's a key.
Oh, it's just a key.
Which means we'll see Solski continue.
Yep, he is definitely going to make his way into the back here.
And whipping that hookshot about to get around this dungeon all the bit faster.
You gotta make the best of what you have.
Indeed. Yeah, this randomizer is very much about realizing the items you have and the clever ways you can employ them, whether it's movement tech or unusual kill strats. And there is a pod hammer. How about that?
Well, hello. That turned out quite well for Solski.
Yeah. There you go. Pendant dungeons paying off.
Perhaps another key is probably going to go back to that bridge and check the vanilla big key location. And I think, well, he might go to the back and do the dark rooms if he feels that there's a better chance of an item there.
Indeed. Yeah, this hammer helps out a lot. It is useful in most dungeons, if not as a weapon, then as an entry device.
Depending on how his key situation works out here, I'm not 100% sure on it, but he might even be able to finish it all up. Maybe having to leave behind 2 chests, which would not be so good, but we'll have to see about that.
Right, if he's anxious about checking on that green pendant, then we may see him just go all the way. But yeah, so that hammer opens up Ice Palace to completion. The dive back into Thieves Town if it's necessary.
Yeah, there's definitely still 1 item left in there.
We can finally get over to Hera, and having the fire rod, we can clear everything out of there.
Also not a bad play. I mean, it's yet another pendant dungeon, but as we've seen already, pendant dungeons not so bad in this logic.
Yeah. And the other thing it unlocks up there is the Ether Tablet, since we have the book, although it is often that they do not have it particularly strong.
Very true. We see that Chexhuman picked up Gary's lunchbox. If he had dipped into pot before, he could have checked the Hammer Pack Cave, which I assume Solski will do at some point sooner or later.
Indeed.
But first, he's making his way through the dark maze. Seems to be doing a pretty good job of it. I think he's already on his way to the big chest.
And bigger quiver. Oh, and he wanted Demir. He's going to save and quit, deciding that the trip back is far too much. Now, where is Bo? Oh, TripleZed dangerously accurate in setting up his death warp there.
Yeah, down to half a heart. Pretty good.
No mirror for our pedestal check yet. We need the boots to go to DP.
And Solski is making that Ice Palace play. I mean, with half magic, the amount of hearts that they have and everything, it's not the worst, especially now that he got the hammer.
We're getting a rarely seen lunchbox world tour.
Yeah, I've been wondering about that. Chexhuman's routing has been very interesting with his lunchbox, but he gets to where he wants to be.
Yeah. You see Solski head right into Ice Palace after the version in pod for that hammer.
Oh, look what Gary's wife packed him today. It was a cane of Samaria.
Oh, wow.
I guess he was supposed to numb on those yummy orange blocks that it creates.
There you go, infinite food.
You never really know. I mean, if you dash into them, they bounce around like rubber, so maybe they're made out of delicious jelly or something.
Oh, I was thinking maybe out of poor quality cheese. Poor Gary.
Ew. Gross.
But we'll go with jelly.
Maybe it's cheese-flavored jelly.
Oh, undo.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and with that cane available, we've got the possibility of a multi-dip turtle rock now.
Yeah, we do already know where the fire rod is, so really only the ice rod is missing at this point. And I suppose they'd want a lamp for the dark room in there, depending on how far they can get into it, but
Right.
we will see about that. That lamp still being quite elusive.
Indeed.
We see that both of our bottom runners here, TripleZed and Solski, they're quite close to each other. TripleZed deciding to take the trip into Ice Palace without the hammer out of pod.
Yeah.
Can't really blame him. I mean, you kinda don't want to take that trip into pod if you don't have the hammer or the bow. But yeah, as we've said many times before, an item being in the vanilla dungeon, it usually is probably the biggest troll Rando can pull on you.
Right. You enter the game with the expectation that it's randomized after all, and so there are way more places where an item can be that aren't the dungeon you normally get it.
Yeah, exactly.
We see Solski just nail that jump earlier, by the way, as TripleZed lines up for it. Ever famous Ice Palace bomb jump.
Yeah, probably the most famous bomb jump in this, and also in NMG as far as I'm aware.
Definitely the one that I'm the most familiar with. As we now have 3 runners in Ice Palace, and a second one with the hammer.
Yeah, just Chexhuman just picking up his fire rod, so he might be headed there too. It'll be interesting to see. So far the chests haven't really paid out at all, so that hammer might be required to get to the chests and hold what you were looking for.
Yeah.
It's definitely required to get to the boss, so...
Indeed. With this being a crystal, Zed has unwittingly signed up for the double dip, probably hoping it isn't true. But I'm interested to see, with Chexhuman being very apparently behind, he does have one difference on his tracker, being Cane of Samaria. And if it takes our runners a while to remember to return the lunchbox, then we could see that gap close up.
Definitely. He looks behind right now, but that lunchbox, we don't know when they're gonna go for it.
Yeah, and who knows when he'll check pod as well to go get that hammer.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, he's grabbing silvers, and Solski is grabbing the lamp.
Alright, so the lamp is indeed in Ice Palace, and it's locked behind the hammer, if I'm not completely wrong.
Yeah, so we had deprogressive fire sources, as some might say. We had to get the fire rod to get the lamp. Unless the bombos was out there somewhere, but I believe we would have found it by now.
Yeah, we probably would have, I agree. Alright, so now that means no more dark rooms, which means, well, they've done quite a bit. At least Solski has done quite a bit of dark rooms already. I'm not sure if it really opens up all that much for them right now.
Yeah. Oh, and Zed getting trolled by the baby berries.
Yeah, those are so annoying. I really dislike this room. Alright, and we got Solski on the Cold Steer fight with the Tempered Sword and Fire Rod and half magic. He should be having no problems.
Oh, yeah.
And
wow.
That was definitely a no problems fight.
Yeah, what is normal for the spider is chaos for the fly, or in this case, chaos for the cold stairs. He just goes to town.
And TripleZed realizing he can't get to those other chests that he actually needed to get to, so he saves and quits out. He's not going to be able to finish up that Ice Palace, so he's going to have to come back here eventually. Meanwhile, Chexhuman has realized, oops, my mirror is on a torch that I can't get to. But he will be the first to finish off Desert because he came here after he got the fire rod.
Indeed.
So we'll find out if Landmolus is holding something that they want to have or not.
As he continues to put that hook shot to wonderful use.
And it seems like, except for sonicam, who wants to finish off... Oh, he's just jumping down and going back. Okay. Yeah, he's going to finish off Ice Palace first, grab his lamp, of course. Well, he already has his lamp. Probably just wants to go and check out the last chest that he has over there. But it looks like all of our runners are indeed going back into Desert to finish it off.
Yeah. On chat pointing out, it's never fun to see your first crystal at 55 minutes. But it does seem to have been the, for intents and purposes, the intended first crystal.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. Alright, Chexhuman almost getting that Landmolus down. There he goes. Let's see what he holds for us. It's the shovel.
Visa pointing out, well, chat loves it, so as far as the 55-minute first crystal, so here's hoping for a pedestal seat on top of all of it, and shout outs to Fiesel for getting the restream together and all the work he does for speed gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. None of this would be possible without Fiesel and all of our other great restreamers that are around, taking up all the work. Of course, one of them being my fine co-commentator here, not to be outdone.
Oh, shucks. Well, thanks, man. We got a lot of great people organizing and everything else, too, so if you're interested in getting involved, well, first let's see sonicam destroy Cold Stare with the utmost ease.
Having no problems with that at all.
Well, yeah, if you're interested... Oh! I keep finding things to talk about instead as Buttersword comes up at the dig spot. But check out the Discord. We got a cool community going. You want to play Rando? You want to get involved? Go for it. We'd be glad to have you.
Absolutely. I think the Link to the Past Rando community, probably one of the friendliest communities I've been having the pleasure of being part of so far. We're very welcoming. We don't make fun of you a lot. Maybe a little bit, but you know.
Yeah, but only in the because we like you kind of way.
Exactly. And as you were saying, that dig spot turned in a Buttersword. We called it earlier. We called it a little bit too early, but that just means we're pretty good at having some premonition capabilities.
Yeah, this is the progression seed in the sense of the progressive items. Now we just need that red mail, and we've got just about everything loaded out.
Yeah, they're definitely equipped pretty well already. I mean, they all got the silvers already. It's just that bow that's missing.
Right.
Sadly, the stabbing people with your arrows is not yet implemented.
Right.
And it looks like sonicam wants to make that play on Hera. I mean, at this point, I'm not sure what other choices they really have.
Yeah, I like this play, and in particular, I like that he's remembering the tablet.
Yeah, very good. But as ACM is pointing out in chat, if he had returned Gary's lunchbox, he could theoretically dip into Turtle Rock.
It's true. And that would be a better play still, perhaps, as it does progress somewhat towards a crystal on top of whatever might be found there.
Yeah, and Turtle Rock in general also has a lot more items that Tower of Hera does, which only has 2?
Yes, 2 at Hera and 5 at Turtle Rock, so indeed. And to clarify for chat, the lunchbox is the purple chest left behind after you do the blacksmith side quest. And depending on this chest here... Oh, it looks like we're going down the basement in Hera.
Yep, looks like we have to do our first tile room. We might not see the tile room in GT, but we're definitely seeing this one.
Indeed. As of yet, our pedestal is unchecked to answer chat. We have not a mirror, and no one has ventured into Skull Woods far enough, well, to the back anyway.
Looks like TripleZed now on his way to grab his cane of Samaria. Sadly, the second person who does that and also does not have the hammer to check the hammer package.
Indeed. So we'll have to keep that in mind. It may come up big.
It definitely might. We'll have to see when our other runners decide to remember that. I think everyone has brought back the frog by now.
Huh?
I'm not 100% sure on that, to be honest, but I know at least 2 people did the Frog World Tour a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen at least 2, and knowing that it was only the 20 rupees, I may have sort of subconsciously been putting that out of my mind.
So, Tower of Hera. We've got a full heart so far, so that means 1 item is still at large. If Indeed. It turns out to be, well, I don't want to call them crappy items, but, you know, not an item that you want to see.
Yeah, non-progression.
Yeah, non-progression items is probably a lot friendlier way to put it. That could spell a lot of waste of time, especially with that tile room you had to wait for.
Right. Yeah, it would have been much preferred to just end up with the 2 items on the front of this if it was going to be the waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Chad's more of a fan of your terminology for it, so we'll call them crappy items.
Okay. I'll just have to make sure, maybe get some insurance or something before you know, the devs come knocking at my door.
Yeah. Sonicam opting out of the bomb jump and going upstairs while he has the hook shot, so another point where it really is crucial to remember which items you have.
Yeah, definitely. I could have saved him another little bit of time.
And there is the bow.
Well, I take everything back. The bow is not a crappy item.
Indeed.
Interesting to see, though, that sonicam opts to finish off Tower of Hera. I mean, it's not really a huge deal. It's not a huge time investment, and the boss is not the worst, especially since it got tempered or the hammer.
Indeed. Yeah, I think at this point it's going to be the quicker option if you know, you roll that risk against the pedestal steed, and if he was just going to go somewhere else on the mountain.
It's very true. I guess you just want to invest that additional minute or something, as opposed to finding out, oh wait, I have to do the pedestal, so I have to go all the way back here. And as we know, or as Chad has pointed out multiple times, the boots could be on the pedestal, so getting up here without that, you know, item, the mirror that they need the boots for, it's quite a long way.
Yeah. Right. Solski makes it through his tile room with not much to spare.
Yeah, probably setting up the death or picking up that heart anyways, but, you know, 1 heart is gone real quickly, as we see.
Yeah, and I don't know if he had a choice with where it landed on the chest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh. Looks like we will see a Turtle Rock play from Sonicam.
Oh, he's definitely going to open it. I mean, he won't get very far if he actually decides to go in there.
Oh, yeah. Forgetting that only half of our players have taken back the lunchbox.
Probably just saving some time while he's up there, as long as you can do it, just get it over with, and then when you come back, you can just jump straight in.
Yeah, opening the portal and the front door, and as you say, it makes it a little easier to get in. Don't have to bother with the dead rocks or anything else.
And Solski remembers that he does have the hookshot and saves and quits out, decides not to do Troll Dorm, so we'll see if that comes back to bite him in the butt.
Yeah.
another player, another disappointing hookshot cave. Alright, and it looks like Solski is heading straight back into Eastern once that last item that's still on the Armos Knights.
Yeah, can't blame him, especially when it's also a crystal for him.
Yeah, and since he cleared out most of it before, it's going to be a quick trip to the boss, get that last item, get your next crystal. Definitely a good play.
Yeah, being able to get into that big chest room without needing to also do the loop around is going to cut probably a whole minute off of his work through this dungeon. And sonicam finding an unusual foe in the dark world. B.
Is he doing the spike cave?
I guess so.
That's an interesting choice. I mean, he does have quite a few hearts. I'm just not sure there are enough hearts.
Yeah, he's gonna risk it with the hook shot. Go torch to torch. We'll see if he makes it. We're rooting for him. This is not a trip you want to make more than once.
Oh, I don't think he's gonna
but
make
he has
it.
blue potion. There we go.
Oh, okay,
Right.
there we go. Blue potion.
Interesting
No
use of
problem.
potion, but it gets him through. Oh, but that's about 140 rupees lost.
Yeah, definitely not what he wanted to see there. Okay, now we get Chexhuman making this trip in the pot, which we just saw TripleZed coming out of, so he'll be getting his hammer. And it looks like Solski is now deciding to finish off the Lamb Molas fight. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean sonicam. Solski is just entering this Armos fight. That's what I meant to say.
There's the cape.
Okay.
Armos.
Oh,
Excellent accuracy to finish off Armos.
yeah, definitely a beautiful fight with the silver arrows. One hit to each. No problem at all. We already saw that the bumper cave only had a heart container, I believe.
Correct. So we know that the bumper cave, or I mean not bumper cave, spike cave, is garbage as well.
Oh yeah, that's right, we just saw that. So cave so far not really 100% required. Obviously
Yeah.
still a very nice item to have, especially with half magic.
Indeed. And if we end up with those boots before we get to Misery Mire, and might see some strats employed on Vitreous, but that's about it. Meanwhile, we're getting a Skull Woods play from TripleZed.
Yeah, I guess he's getting the easily accessible crystal here, which is not a bad play. We just already know that the two items out of Skullwoods were gotten by our players, so he's not
Indeed.
going to find anything that'll progress him further into the seed, but, you know, getting the crystal out of the way when you can, definitely not a bad play. I would agree with, oh hey, it's David here, in that it might be a pet check incoming. The problem is he does not have a mirror, so...
Right.
So sadly, chat, you'll have to wait for your pet check a little bit longer.
Almost certainly.
Alright, so sonicam is about to enter his Lamb Molas fight while...
Montiola goes down.
Oh wow, that was real
Easy.
good.
Yeah, when you got that butter sword.
Wait, I'm also just noticing that TripleZed has red mail. Where did he pick that up?
I happen to miss it myself.
I mean,
But
I
we
don't
do
know.
have the full loadout, as seems unsurprising. And our tracker pointing out, red mail in the Spike statue room and pod.
And yes, as Lord Hayati is pointing out in chat, Mothula is one of the bosses weak to bees. I guess insects don't like other insects.
Makes sense to me.
So, I don't think Solski is making a bad play here at all. I just think it's a little bit curious. I'm not sure if he's out of options completely, but he is deciding to get that green pendant out of pod.
Indeed. And it is something we've seen play a bigger and bigger part at this point is Sahasrara having a gift in exchange for the green. At this point, without the mirror and because of being without the boots, does cancel out his ability to swamp. We need the flute from Meyer, and we're going to check out what's in the Peg Cave now on TripleZed. It's the 4th bottle.
Alright, free blue potion, we'll take that.
Yeah, he's got the Gatorade.
To be fair, I just realized there might also still be an item on Helmstar King.
I'm thinking that must be it. I feel like the pull of the green pendant is one thing, but the, the 2 items is perhaps enough to get most of our runners to dive in and see what's up.
Yeah, I think it does.
Now, if only he had the mirror to hasten that turn.
Yeah, that would be real helpful, but no such luxury just yet.
I'll skip the silver arrows and just put the butter to the crystal in his head. Chat getting excited as it looks like Sonicam is going to be giving us our pedestal check, as there was an item on Helma, but just a heart piece. Alright, get your pedestal hype in the chat. For couch cash.
Not what chat wanted to see, but I'm sure Sonicam is very relieved to see that.
Yeah, knowing that, alright, well, I beat blind and, kind of thing I had to do, but we'll see. Meanwhile, TripleZed doing all sorts of odds and ends cleanup for us.
Yeah, getting all those last items out of the way, trying to find where he can get the next progression item.
And Solski, having counted his items, knows there's one more sitting around in here. He's going to pick up the red mail. While there's a heart piece in the bowels of Thieves Town. So let's see. Powders at large, ice rods at large. Those 2, well, one of them's required and one of them's potentially interesting.
Yeah, at this point I'm thinking their next play must be Turtle Rock. Solski needs to get the lunchbox. TripleZed really has everything he can get so far, except for the bow, I suppose.
Right.
Oh yeah, he's making the play in Ice Palace first, which definitely a good play. I will probably do Ice Palace before I dip into Turtle Rock, but after this...
Yeah, especially since he had started this earlier, and so he'll be able to finally put it to bed.
Yeah, exactly. It's a second trip in here. Alright, there's the red mail. Finally, I see it too. I need either a bigger monitor or better eyes, I think, for these 4-way races.
Yeah. See Sonicam go to make his check of the Thieves Town big chest now, and with a well-timed death warp, thankfully not getting trolled by a heart piece there.
I was kind of hoping that heart piece would refill him, but I'm also kind of a meanie, so...
Yeah. Gee whiz, Herf.
It happens, you know. After giving my love and adoration away so much, and then also having it be given away by other people,
I don't know what you're talking about.
what else is left other than being a little bit of a meanie?
Yeah. See, we got another play on the pegs.
Yeah.
While Solski's running around without cashing in that green pendant, but I guess it is a bit of a trip. Looks like he's going for lunchbox.
He's probably gonna check those hammer packs too, yeah. I think both sonicam and Solski should be picking up their Cane of Samaria in just a little bit here, which should definitely lead them over to Turtle Rock, I would say.
I think so. At this point, it's 5 items. I know Solski at least knows he can get in, and I guess sonicam opened it earlier.
Yep. Does have the lunchbox in tow.
Solski's skipping out on it.
Solski, go back. Wait, has he not brought back the Smith yet, maybe? I might be checking the big chest in Thieves Town first.
You know what? Okay, he's realizing he hadn't done this yet, and so doesn't want to go very far so that he can just walk back over and finish both of those things first. That's actually smart, considering the forgotten item in this town.
Yeah, if you can get that out of the way as soon as possible, it'll stop being in the back of your head, and you won't have to worry about it constantly.
Yeah. And we had almost a sync, I guess really a high five from Chex and TripleZed on that lamp chest. Left side of your screen just now.
Yep.
Zed plays chicken with the giant spike trap.
Oh, and this staircase without boots.
Oh, I know, man.
Such a pain.
Worst. But Zed makes it look easy. He lines up with that block up top and just walks right on down.
Yeah, it looks good. Maybe I should have learned that at some point.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be my preferred strat without the boots now.
Alright, sonicam picking up his crystal here in EP, because why not?
Yeah, got to do it at some point.
And then I can only assume that our wish for Turtle Rock will finally come true. Oh, and Solski saves and quits out of Thieves Town. I mean, it's pretty quick, but I do hope he goes back to that lunchbox at some point soon.
Yeah, he's going to need it. Meanwhile, we got Chex finished up his cold stare. TripleZed's going to run out of magic, but with that butter sword, things
shouldn't be a
pretty
big deal.
Easy for him, yeah. There it goes.
Yep, wonderful.
Solski perhaps remembering he didn't turn in his mushroom, so trying to tie off all the odds and ends before he goes on.
Yeah, sadly we know the mushroom really doesn't pay out so much, so yeah, I guess the next play should be that lunchbox for Solski.
Yeah, or he might opt for Skull Woods.
Oh yeah, of course you can also do that.
Yeah, depends on his level of frustration, I suppose, and of course whether or not he actually remembers about the Smith and lunchbox combo, depending on if he's done the Smith.
Mm-hmm. It looks like Chex might be on his way up to Turtle Rock here. Oh, now Solski's going to turn in his green pendant. We'll see if Sahasra has anything.
This one has been sitting idle for a bit.
He's also the only one of our runners so far who has done it, so if this is a big item like the boots or something, he'll have quite a bit of an advantage. But, of course, it's just a bomb upgrade.
Yeah. Tisk. Sahasrala you tease.
Yeah, really terrible. Alright, so Chexhuman is entering Turtle Rock.
Yeah, here we go. First TR check of the run. Whips out the cane. Meanwhile, Solski sings us the song from the book.
Yeah, kind of boring, really.
Yeah, it's Gregorian chanting. It's pretty, like, monotone. You know? Alright, and that's one item out of TR. In a little love.
Okay, definitely not what they were looking for. Beep, 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 beep. He is also going for a pedestal check here, just to make sure. He already does have 2 of the pendants, so not a bad idea.
And we get another SQ from him, understandable after that trip.
Yeah, you don't want to walk all that way back.
Early big key in Turtle Rock, and the needed small key for progress. Or, well, I guess that one's not compulsory because of the pokey.
Okay, so Solski is making his way back up Death Mountain here. I'm a little bit curious where he plans on going.
Maybe Spike Cave.
Yeah, I think Spike Cave is really his only choice up here at the moment.
Yeah. He got the 2 items from Hera already.
I guess he really doesn't like the whole save and quit with the blacksmith and with the purple chest.
Yeah. Yeah, shame because he was back over there again, too, around the village. We know that that is the play he needs to make. He's got to get that cane.
I mean, thankfully, I suppose, for him, he is in a little bit of a lead.
Right, and so he's got a little bit of time to burn, but...
Yeah, and he should be running out of options reasonably soon here. We'll see where he's off to next. It definitely does look like he's heading back to that Village of Outcasts warp.
For his sake, I hope so. We'll see. So far, it's just been Key City and Turtle Rock. So it looks like our riot shield will be quite useful laser bridge at this point for at least one of our items.
Yeah, I'm always very happy to have the riot shield when I'm on the laser bridge because I'm really terrible at the laser skip.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can pull it off myself, and, you know, the condition of an invincibility item when you know you also have to put the rods to work is, yeah.
Yeah, you always want to be a little bit careful with your magic. I guess you do get a free refill just before the fight, but, you know.
Yeah.
Alright, and it looks like Solski is going downwards, which is a good choice. Let's hope he picks up that frog, or if he has already returned him and I just forgot, let's hope he picks up that lunchbox.
Yeah. And we got sonicam on his Helmastar fight. His TripleZed looks like he'll be going for his Moldorm.
And Chex picks up the compass. Man, Turtle Rock is really holding out.
Yeah, it really is. We're going to see all the goodness on the laser bridge and potentially the Mimic Cave. Although we established earlier it's not officially part of it. And so lacking that mirror, that would sure be something.
Yeah, that will be the biggest troll of them all.
Of course, if the ice rod is there, at least you were on your way back in anyway, but it's a trip you'd be very unlikely to take.
Oh, there's a red rupee. That's kind of disappointing.
Yep. By my count, that is 2. 2 items.
Yeah, I believe so.
And there we go. We got the Smith action for Solski.
Yep, he managed to complete the first part. It's going to be a little bit sad about his 20 rupees, but hopefully
All right.
Another save and quit.
Key. I
All
think at
right,
this
so
point,
these,
Trinex has an item.
yeah, he kind of has to, depending on what
There's
these
the
two chests
flute.
are. Ooh, hello, there's a flute. That's a very good find, indeed.
Oh, we're gonna miss that last item, I bet.
Yeah, looks like it.
Oh, man. We did see the single arrow already to answer a chat question. And the boots is apparently the call from chat.
Oh, wow.
So we got the flute boot laser bridge.
All right, that's really good. That means
Well,
he
the
can
mimic ice
immediately...
rod is alive then.
Definitely could be.
Well, that is exciting. And how fun that you get to run all the way to Kakariko Village to activate that flute.
Okay, the king buried a big old heart with him today.
Huh.
Getting that out of
It's
the
like
way.
a bit of Frankenstein action for you. You need a
Yeah,
noble
maybe.
heart. Although I guess it was a brain.
Heart, brain.
Oh, he's giving those other bonk rocks a skip. He can't make up his mind. He's going back.
Yep, he's going back. He doesn't know. Bonk rocks, yes, no.
Yeah,
looking good.
I think he was considering if he could flute back to them, but not this time. And worth it? Not quite. But a check you have to.
Yeah, you don't want to leave that behind. I mean, I guess it's really close to one safe spot that you have, so it's not too out of the way and not too hard to get back to, but if you have the opportunity to get it done, just get it done and get it over with.
Definitely. You get a little piece of heart and also peace of mind. All right, we got a mute swag duck from Chexhuman. Get those swag ducks in the chat.
Yep, get your swag ducks ready, and I'm gonna be curious how much rage slashing there will be from Solski.
Indeed. Oh.
He was thinking about it for a second, but then he was like, okay, I don't have time to waste on this crap.
Or maybe he would have preferred a, what do you call it? Maybe a Bombos or something. Maybe he's got a particular medallion of rage preferred.
Yeah, immediately saves and quits and goes up to Turtle Rock. We, of course, know that is exactly the play that he needs to make.
Indeed. Gonna pay off with that boots and that flutes.
And sonicam is a couple of seconds ahead of him, just warping over there. He has already opened it, so we can just walk right in.
Both of our guys gonna be in quite a good mood after this one.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be happy about what they're finding here. Probably not gonna be happy about the forced double dip that they're gonna have to do, but
yeah,
you take what you can get with version 26.
Indeed. So now we're down to, depending on the mire medallion requirement, we just need an ice rod, and then it's time to finish her off.
Yeah, pretty much. We already know where the mirror is. It should not be a problem to grab it as soon as they make that play back into Desert Palace. And then it's just the hunt for the ice rod, as has often been the case, I must say.
Yeah, that is the classic troll item. We know it's not on pedestal. It could be a mimic cave. With the boots, we have access to the mirror now. It could be deep in the bowels of the Swamp Palace.
I'm going to say, just to be friendly for a change, it's probably, well, either it's in Swamp or it's in Mire. It might also be in the Mire Shed, I guess.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice, because they're definitely on their way to that.
We'll have to see if they can even get into Mire.
Yeah, that too. We may have yet more trolliness to abide. And a very quick crystal for Chexhuman, putting that butter sword to work. As Solski celebrates his sword beams on the on the Samaria tracks. He's really quite excited, but perhaps frustrated in this case as he kind of went a bit backwards on the track.
He's so happy about it that he forgets that he has the hookshot, I guess.
Yeah. Oh man, loves those sword beams.
Not gonna cost him too much time here.
Yeah. All right. And here goes the forthcoming mirror grab out of desert.
Yep, Chexhuman gonna be the first one to pick up his mirror. So as Chad was pointing out earlier, he has access to so many things now, he might skip out on Tower of Hera for quite a while, which we do know has the bow that is absolutely 100% required.
Right, and that's a big bit of consternation there, where this potentially ends up costing him the race, given that we largely consider sonicam to have the lead.
Yeah, that definitely might come back to haunt him a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how that works out for him. Sonicam getting closer and closer to that laser bridge that holds all the items that we want.
Yep, gonna get that boot, gonna get that flute.
And we're getting our first Maya check from Chexhuman here. He's probably gonna run up, check which medallion he needs real quick.
I was unable to tell, but I hope chat will help us.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to be helped out here. I was sadly also unable to tell what that was.
And I think that was the Cane of Brian.
Yep, that was a Cane of Brian for sure.
Oh, and we're seeing Ether on the door of Meyer. That is quite exciting.
Alright, so only one medallion required this seed, and they all have it already.
Right.
So, as we were saying earlier, Ice Rod is the thing to find.
Indeed. That will set us to go mode and get us on our way. Thank you, chat, for filling in that ether. Best part about an ether mire is, of course, the potential for the bird toss. Now, with the angle that Chex is working, we might not get to see it. But one of our other runners might provide.
Yeah, they better do. If I don't get to see a bird toss in a 4-player race where ether is required for Meyer, I'll be very sad.
It would be surprising at the very least.
Yeah, it might not be that surprising because they might all come from up there.
Right, if they all go for the checkerboard first.
Yeah, it really depends on if they all decide to grab the mirror first.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright.
A very nice, quick first room from Chexhuman here. Gets right into the thick of it. And sonicam is picking up his boots and his flute.
Probably see him check that King's Tomb and the Sanctuary Bonk Rocks on his way over to get activated. And probably, with what everything he's gone through, I think he'll probably go to Meyer just about immediately.
Yeah, as soon as he finds out that he can't get in there, he'll probably dive right in just as Chex did.
Yeah, plus minus the mirror check. Solski makes his final traversal before the laser bridge, and Zed has found his way into Turtle Rock.
Yep, there is the flute, and in a second there will be the boots for Solski, so he will be right up there with everyone else.
Yep. And he's gonna venture back for something. Maybe he wants to, well, I'm not sure what he's after.
Maybe we'll see the ever elusive only Fire Rod Trinex fight here. Maybe
but he
not.
figures it out. Oh man.
Remember just in time.
And so far, nothing coming from Misery Mire. As Chex makes his way back over to the east side of it.
Yeah, we'll have to see where those items are hiding. I mean, they're probably hoping that they aren't in those horrible torch rooms, but I guess we'll find out.
We are going to get the audible swag duck, so go ahead and get those in the chat.
And we see sonicam is now picking up his mirror in a second. That one Solski almost worked, but remembered, wait, I gotta get the mirror first.
Yeah, definitely smart routing here from all three who have gone there. Because as soon as you finish Mire, you know, pretty much where you want to get to next.
Yeah, you'll want to use the mirror, especially with the flute in hand, or you'll have to save and quit, and that's always kind of annoying.
Right. One of our trackers, Blast Egg, pointing out Bamos was at the big chest in Mire when we lost the frames.
Okay, well, not a bad find, but not really
bridge
needed.
chest, according to others. In either case, we thank you all for that call out.
There was definitely a bombos in Mire somewhere.
Yeah.
Alright, and the butter spin strats on Vidria is pretty good, but he needs to be careful here with this.
He sure does. He's going to put that Cave of Brine to work, or Cane of Brine.
Firing up that
wow.
cane.
Very nice. And there it is.
Oh, wow. Okay, so turns out Mire was the exact right play. Now, the thing is, Chex still needs to go in the Tower of Hera.
Yeah, he's going to need that bow to finish the game.
Oh, TripleZed is getting trolled a little bit by that mini Helmasaur on the bridge.
Oh, no. And he puts that cape to work. Very smart.
Yep, very good. Just about to pick up his flute and his boots, so we'll probably be seeing the exact same route from him. He'll grab his mirror, he'll check out the Mire area and find out that he can get in, and then he probably will get in.
Indeed. Yeah, and so now the question is, when will Chex go to Hera? And you gotta think he's gonna work on his crystal dungeons first.
Yeah, I suppose he has no real reason to go there yet, unless he is absolutely locked out by everything. And we do know that with his mirror, he can check quite a few spots. He can potentially go into the Swamp Palace. There's yeah, we'll see if and when he decides to go back to Tower of Hera.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's even gonna get through the rest of his crystals before he bothers with Hera. All but Eastern Palace, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's the bombos that we missed earlier, now found by Solski. And it seems that one more item is still... No, there we go, that's a big key. Oh yeah, of course, one more item is still enlarged its size route on witches.
Right.
I'm good at remembering things.
Well, you did remember it. So, props for that. Chex is going to make that play into Swamp Palace. We're going to see each of our other runners make a way quicker play on this dungeon than what we're about to find from Chex.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone will be able to go mode it pretty much, and go mode Swamp is absolutely a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it's a piece of cake.
Alright, so Solski is now just taking the warp back to the Vitreous area. Gonna go downstairs, go through all those dark rooms that aren't dark anymore for them.
Dodging that Wizrobe beam on the way up. A good thing, too, this thing's hit hard.
Yeah, they're surprisingly powerful with considering how quickly you can actually defeat them.
Yeah. We got chat now discussing the various rules of V26 in context of some of the routing decisions that have led to the state of our race currently, including Pendant Pod.
It's been quite interesting so far, really. I mean, the forced double dip into Turtle Rock, you had to do Pendant Pod and Pendant Hera for required items.
Right.
It's it's quite an interesting seed. Not quite a pedestal seed, but definitely pretty spread out item wise.
Yeah, if we would have seen any of our runners end up with all three pendants on this one, I would not have been surprised.
And we actually do have one of our runners who has all three pendants, so...
Oh, we do, yeah. Gosh, I misread sonicam's tracker.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to tell on the restream, to be fair, but yeah.
Oh, it's all good, yeah. As Solski just blasts Vitreous for that ice rod, and he is in go, go, go mode.
He is absolutely in go mode. Probably, well, I mean, now that he has the flute, he can get pretty much everywhere real quickly. Go mode Swamp Palace, no problem at all. Skullwood's only the back left anyway, so getting Camothula not a big deal either. And considering he cleared out pretty much everything in Turtle Rock, the way is still quite long to get back there, but, you know.
Yeah, we'll see a trip down here for Swamp, and then maybe a trip off to the potion shop before just kind of finishing everything up with having to put that fire rod to use quite a bit.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the worst idea, especially considering that he's close to 1,000 rupees, so he definitely has the funds to afford some of the potions.
Indeed, and we've had a wealth of bottles in the seed. I believe he has all... Well, yeah, our tracker says he has all 4. As Chex puts the hurt on Argus, and we'll probably be diving back in for the left side.
Yeah, sadly, at this point, I don't think he can... Well, maybe he can find the powder or something, but other than that...
Yeah, certainly nothing that's going to put him very much back into this.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for him to catch up with, especially if he doesn't think of Tower of Hera anytime soon. And really, that full clear of Swamp is going to cost him the most time, considering sonicam is just going to head there real quickly and finish it up in go mode in no time.
Yeah, this, of course, being one of our dungeons, it doesn't even require the big key. It just requires the hook shot, which in the vanilla game is, of course, blocked by it. Other than that, all the keys are mostly in places out in the open, as I remember. And so that they are never randomized.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so for our bottom race, we still got Solski who needs to get to the back of Skullwoods. Not an awfully bad thing, but still a little bit of time investment. On the other hand, we have TripleZed who will soon be in go mode and pick up his crystal from Misery Mire. He'll have to do what Solski is doing right now. I'd say the Skullwoods play for Solski should still be a little bit faster than a go mode swamp for TripleZed.
Yeah, considering we have Solski is a room or two away from Argus now, and with Buttersword, that fight should go faster than Vitreous, I think. Even with all the hook shotting.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to cost him enough time for TripleZed to catch up, especially with Skullwoods only the back being left, and you already know that you don't have to check that one little chest that's down there and everything.
Yeah, it should be good to go. Well, here we go. We got the boss fights starting simultaneously. And I'm realizing now that they do have the characteristic of... and I was quite wrong about this Argus, and forgetting that Zed had the silvers.
Yeah, still not really a huge time difference.
Yeah, oh, and yeah, a very fine shot on Argus there. I'm not sure what that was. And I didn't see it when Chex got it either.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. I think it was an arrow upgrade, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Alright, so we see sonicam now on his penultimate crystal, or working on it at least, entering Swamp in a second. And on the bottom race, we got Solski, who just is going to flute over to 3 and warp over to Dark World and get into Skullwoods.
Quite right.
It's still quite exciting at the bottom. Sadly, at the top, unless we see Chexhuman go make the Tower of Hera play anytime soon, he will be looking for that bow for quite a while. Yeah,
and instead we're going to see him go for the super bomb. So say hello to the Fat Fairy, the Portly Pixie, the Chubby Cherub, the Double-Chested Fairy, and whatever else you might like to call her.
I'm liking all of those. Okay, Solski just dashing through the halls, grabbing a key here so he doesn't have to kill the Gibdo at the end. Or at least not find the key for that first locked door.
Manages that key dash pretty well, very nice.
Yep, very nice to see. Getting all the use of his half magic with that fire rod.
Indeed. Going to town. Ooh, and almost getting knocked into the Wallmaster there. That would have been trouble. And you gotta wonder if that hour and 48, these guys are feeling like, where's the dot done though? Or if they're cognizant of the fact that the seed had to have been just about as bad for their opponent.
Yeah, I think it's a healthy mix of both. You know that your opponent had to go through the same double dips and everything that you had, but still, at this point, you gotta think, man, I'm so close. I only need to finish up Turtle Rock after this. Could come at any second.
Yeah. Solski with a very good Mothula fight. I like that opening, the getting in there tight and just going to town with the gold sword.
Yeah, it's a good choice, and thanks to the rando devs for fixing that little bug that Mothula originally had, where it doesn't take any damage from the butter sword.
Yeah, that's rough times. But as you said, thank you, devs. And we do have plenty of other races tonight to answer chat.
Yeah, there's definitely more Ando to come. You won't get rid of us anytime soon.
You check out the schedule there. Meanwhile, Solski on his way now to Turtle Rock. TripleZed has proven now that even in go mode, Swamp is just a little bit longer than Skull Woods.
Yeah, definitely. He's very close to that Argus fight, but you can't ignore the whole way up back to Death Mountain and Turtle Rock. With the fluid, a little more bearable, and you don't have to waste your free refill you get after killing a boss, as you would normally if you save and quit to the mountain cave.
Right.
And Chexhuman is checking all the spots that he can in the overworld, just trying to find that bow somewhere.
Yep. Down goes Argus for Zed.
Yep, no, also gonna be on his way back up to Turtle Rock and to finish off Trinex.
We're going to have all three of these players in pretty close succession knocking this out and heading on over to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, this
will just be a wait to see if Chexhuman will head to Hera.
Yeah, looks like he's checking the big chest here in Thief's Town for now. Still not a bad play. I can't really fault him for any other plays he's doing. It's just... yeah, we know where that bow is, and Tower of Hera is not looking too attractive to him right now.
Yeah, no. It's gonna be a while.
Alright, Solski taking a little shortcut here since it's opened up all the key doors. He doesn't have to worry about a key being in the big chest anymore.
Right.
Inching closer and closer to Trinex.
That's right, and Solski had faked in earlier. And then realized he didn't have the ice rod, yeah.
Yeah, he almost went through the Trinex, so... oh, he leaves that one heart. I'm sure that wasn't on purpose.
Remember that, folks. Now, I'm sure we'll get through this Trinex fight easy peasy. He's got the red mail. He's got the gold sword.
Yeah, I don't think this should be a problem for him at all.
Yeah. There he goes.
Well, it looks like Chex is making his way up to Hera, so... he looks to be on the right way.
Yeah. And here goes our first Trinex fight. Oh, he hits the spikes going for the back door.
Yeah, barely misses it.
Yeah, oh, he does suppress the ice, though. And so we get a very, very close one cycle from that. Solid as get. He does a little boot dance waiting for the worm to pop out.
Doesn't quite get the double, but still 3 hits with Butter Sword, no big deal at all.
Yeah, and down goes Trinex.
And that is the last crystal for Solski, who will be making his way to Ganon's Tower. And Chad, you of course know what that means. Our first player is making his way to Ganon's Tower. We are looking for a big key in Ganon's Tower. You've got chests 1 through 22 to figure out where you think the big key will be this time.
And the numbers are rolling in.
Numbers are rolling in.
Some of them are outside the range, but that's all right.
Yeah, you know, you always get a bunch of unique snowflakes.
What are we giving away today, Herf?
We will see. No spoilers.
All right. You know something, and I might be misremembering this, but we're pretty light on the red rupee pickups today.
Yeah, that's true now that I think about it. We usually complain about them a lot, but we haven't seen too many of those yet. Alright, there's a powder number 1 and a bugnet number 2. Jeez.
Safety right side. Wow. GG, GT. Oh, and I missed Sonicam's Tronix fight, which means it must have been amazing. While TripleZed is going to town on him as well. We've got the call for Big Key at Powder. All right. It's 5, as I understand.
Yep. 6.
And big 20 for 7.
Oh, are we seeing the Dark Magician route here?
Oh, man. A little bit of right, a little bit of left, and heading back to the right.
Interesting plays.
We'll see how this pays off. Yeah, we got both players so far opting to say goodnight to Bob. That's too bad.
Do they really wanted that small key? Oh, I'm going to be really confused about our count.
Well, I think we had 7, so we're going to see 8, 9, 10, and 11 in the rando room.
Yeah, I guess we're counting Solski only. Because if sonicam decides to go down south here instead of going back to the right, we'll see a different order, but let's see here. That's number 8. Oh, and it is number 9.
Number 9. Or the bottom left chest in rando room.
Yep, we will accept both of those. And if you have guessed number 9, you better tell me now. And oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, depending on selected routes through here, this chest may number as high as, what, number 20 for some of our runners?
Yeah, it could be as high as number 20, depending on where they go first or last.
But I believe you're about to tell us our prize.
Yeah, I guess I can't disappoint chat too much, since it's now, you know, a long and valued tradition. If you did guess number 9, you do get my unending love and adoration, which is now back in stock.
Woo!
Non-refundable. And also not exchangeable for a money price.
Well, you can't put a price on loving.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we're seeing TripleZed also fills in with a full left side so far. As Solski is burning his way through the gauntlet. Quite well at that.
You could try to sell my love on eBay. I'm just not sure if it's really worth it, but if you do, and if you get any amount of money for it, I'm asking for at least 10%.
Alright. Solski through land mode 2. As sonicam is even going for the Ice Armos. Which, after going a full left side, is, from what I understand, the traditional play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that doesn't have too much an effect on our green versus red match up top, but our blue versus yellow is ultimately coming down to that decision there to what do you call the decision from Solski to double back.
Yeah, it turns out that Solski's decision to have a bit of an unusual G-Tower routing, I would call it, definitely got him the big key the quickest out of those two.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe I called that room the rando room earlier, but it is in fact the compass room. Apologies to those who were offended.
The room names are also randomized, so, you know.
Randomizer. Sonic, just over 2 hours in, is beginning his ascent.
Yep, he got the big key, he got everything he needs, he got 2 small keys, so that's super safe on his side.
Yeah. He is the gap to Moldorm 2 away from the next runner, but well ahead of his actual opponent.
Yeah, indeed. Looks like TripleZed now finishing up the fight with Ice Armos. Going to be very disappointed in what he finds here and realizes, okay, must be on the right side somewhere.
Yeah, wow.
The question is, will he do the gamble on tile room?
Oh, man.
Alright, we got our first Aga 2 fight at 2 hours and 1 minute in. Let's see how quickly Solski can finish off that old guy. Gets only a single hit in his first phase.
Indeed. Getting not the worst setups. We do have 1 blue ball for Aga 2 so far. It looks like that was a trip, or maybe even too fast.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit too close, just as those two might have been a little bit too close, but we'll find out soon. Oh, apparently not.
Yeah, if I'm doing the math right. One of those didn't take, of the 5 we questioned. And then that last hit takes him down, so solid fight from Solski, and I think we only saw 1 blue ball out of that.
Alright, and I'd be surprised if we don't see Solski jump right into that hole, and there he goes.
Pew!
Hello, Ganon. I am your father's, brother's, nephew's, cousin's former roommate.
Shout out to Mel Brooks.
Oh, gets a very nice position here. Beats Ganon up, just no chance.
It is taking a little bit of abuse from the Ring of Fire.
Yeah, it's just Ramboing through the first 2 phases. Can't really blame him with Butter Sword. He's so well equipped and still has a blue potion left.
Yeah, so this one's barring some serious trouble in the later stages of this fight. He's going to be home and away.
Yeah, this, unless he falls a couple of times, I think this one is Solski's to lose.
Indeed.
And yes, Ganon, we did find the silver arrows, as you can probably feel right now, with one of them hitting you right in the dome. Oh, very nice double there. That means 1 more left, and there he goes.
There it is. GG.
GG to Solski. Grats on his win.
I'll get a little bit of dust on that pose. Swag boots.
Absolutely. Is he gonna go for the swag moonwalk? Oh no.
What's our Triforce have to say today? A winner is you. Good job, Solski.
Yes, good job, Solski. And his official SRL time was 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 31 seconds. I am just asking him if he wants to come in for a post-game interview. He's asking for 1 minute. Probably just needs a little bit of a bathroom break and a little time to wind down.
Yeah, after quite the long seed here, I'm not surprised to hear that he wants a little bit of time for respite.
Exactly, and we see sonicam finishing up his Moldorm 2 fight just as Chexhuman is entering Ganon's tower.
And Solski entered the Twitch chat after his victory to let us know just what he thought of it.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna get some interesting commentary from him here after he jumps into for the interview.
His commercial break. Oh, man. And Aga 2 off and going for sonicam. It looks like Chexhuman has made his way. Haven't done the right side first. Coming back the left. Of course, this one quite out of reach as sonicam takes down Aga 2.
Yeah, again, this would take quite a bit of failure on sonicam's part to have Chexhuman catch up here, but we'll have to see. sonicam being carried away by his trusty old swag duck. Starts off his Ganon fight at 2 hours, 5 minutes, and about 35 seconds. He's, of course, also equipped with the red mail and the butter sword and silver, so this should be equally easy for him to finish up.
Quite. I'm trying to reflect back on the path of this seed. I think the biggest thing that was trolly was getting all the way to the laser bridge on a trip into Turtle Rock only to have to turn around.
Yeah, that was definitely no fun.
Yeah. Other than that, we had our guys delay on getting the cane, which led to that. So.
Alright, it looks like Solski is about ready. I'm going to drag him in here. Hello, Solski. GG, and congrats on your win.
GG, Solski. Yeah.
Thanks.
You already told us in chat a little bit how you felt about the seed. Do you want to put it into words again for the interview listeners?
Worst seed ever. literally was cursing the rando devs names like halfway through when I found my what was it? When I found the red cane.
Oh, in the lunchbox. Yeah.
I was basically full on tilt until ice rod.
Oh, man.
Like full, like off the planet.
Yeah, we can imagine that cane. You held off on the frog and Gary's lunchbox quite a bit, just probably because you didn't have the mirror.
I meant to do Smith's early actually when I did the south to Hype Cave, but I forgot. So that would have made lunchbox a little bit more equitable. But with both, I figured just leave them for now. It can never be anything mirror locked, right?
Yeah, of course not. I mean, why would it be?
Right.
But yeah, that was probably the first troll of the seed. And then how did you feel about finding those boots and the flute on the laser bridge and the last two chests you could possibly check?
Expected it, to be honest, just because we got like ether, mirror shield, fire rod early. Like I was like, where's my red cane so I can go to T-Rock already?
Right.
And then we finally got it. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna get my boots and flute now. And then there it is. So take that, get my my mirror, and then I felt like really behind. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm already here. Do Meyer, got Bombos, and then I got Big Key, and I was like, I really got to gamble now. So of course, I just went right to Vitreous and got Ice Rod. I kind of pog-champed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was...
And you were, I think, the last player to pick up the Cane of Samaria and the first player to finish out of all four of the runners on screen. We did have sonicam finished about 4 minutes after you to win his matchup.
Wow.
Yeah. So, congrats on that. You really, for as much of a runaround as the seed was, you really gave it what for. Even busted out some swag strats like the Bee on blind.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a pleasure to see. We always love seeing one of those heads just fly off the screen and go bye-bye forever. But yeah, I would say 3 of the 4 players were pretty close throughout the whole race. Were really caught up. Chexhuman and the other race that was going on similar to yours. He didn't eject Tower of Hera for a very, very long time, so he was missing out on the bow for ages.
Yeah.
I actually made a dumb, and I didn't track Hera as a pendant, so I went up there thinking it was a crystal too, so...
that turned out pretty well.
And I was pretty hesitant if I wanted to kill Trolldorm just because I didn't know if Pedestal was a thing yet, so I just kind of save and quit for the bow and just save as much time as I could. But yeah, overall, like, fun race, just terrible seed.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most roundabout I've seen in a while myself.
Yeah, like, what was it? Hammer and Pod.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
That was probably the worst.
Oh,
I'm like, of course it's there.
right.
And then that really didn't lead to anything except for Bo. I'm like, well, maybe it's Eastern Pod. And then they didn't have anything. And then I'm like, well, now I'm stumped how to read the seed. So basically just became rounding out all the loose squares I had around the map. And then, of course, Red King was last.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna put TripleZed in here. He has finished 2 in the meantime and is ready for his interview. So you guys can maybe share some thoughts on this awful seed. Hello, TripleZed. GG.
GG Zed.
Hello.
Good game, man.
Solski has already told us his thoughts about that seed, and they weren't too positive, I would put it lightly. So, what do you think about what you just played?
I loved it. I just wish I hadn't gone to ice when I didn't have the hammer. It was a mental breakdown, and I think, aside from that, I think it would have been very close at that point.
It absolutely would have been. I was just saying, 3 of the 4 runners that we saw today were really, really close. Not to take away from Chexhuman at all, but he sadly didn't check Tower of Hera for quite a long time, so he was missing the bow for a huge amount.
Indeed.
But yeah, other than that, you guys did a great job. I mean, this seed sent you all over the place and forced double dip at the T-Rock and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I loved the real kind of difficulty in routing. Just that Ice Palace play, really. As soon as I got to the room and I'm like, I don't have hammer, I felt like, you know, I'd wasted about 5 or 6 minutes, which I think is right about how much Solski won by, so it would have been pretty tight had I not done that.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it does seem to have been the margin, and as I recall, and not to rub salt on it, because really, I mean, to speak to the excellence of your routing, that was, I think, the only mistake you made in that regard. So, I mean, apart from that, boss fights were on point, and, you know, put the seed to bed otherwise.
You know, I mean, it helps when you get all the swords and all the armors and all the mics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were saying we were pretty convinced that Sick Kid must have something important because you guys found a lot of bottles really quickly.
Yeah, I thought he did. It was go to him or go to Aghanon, and I picked him. I figured it had to be the Moon Pearl at that point because, like, we got all these other items, but they weren't really progressing us towards the Dark World, so... I mean, the gloves did, but it's like, you need something else. So if you'd gotten, like, flute or hammer, you know, those help, but they don't get you into the Dark World.
Right.
It's not a bunny.
Yeah, at that point it really had to be the Moon Pearl either on Sick Kid or I guess on the Pyramid.
Yeah,
Right.
That was the biggest nail biter of a almost Aga seed that we've had in a while.
It was pretty close, yeah.
But
Actually,
I don't think we had the lamp at that point, so it was like...
Right, it was going to be Lamp or Moon Pearl on Sick Kid. Yeah.
I actually didn't pick up on that because I'm dumb.
Oh.
I forgot I had Titans, so if you're wondering why I went up to East Death Mountain, Dark World Death Mountain so early, it's because I was freaking out. I'm like, what did I miss? I got a sequence break to figure this out. And I'm like, I figured it out right when I picked up the rock. I was like, oh.
Yeah, we were a little bit surprised by that play, but then we were thinking, alright, he hasn't been up here yet. He can check East Death Mountain, and then he can check Dark World East Death Mountain, so that's quite a bunch of items. Not necessarily a terrible play.
No, it was better than sitting in the map, and it would have been really silly if I was sitting in the map, so... Like, I couldn't believe I did that, because I was actually in a race, like, earlier today in my chat, I was like, I did the exact same thing, and I was like, well, I almost forgot I had Titans. This time I did, so...
Yeah. Let's see.
Alright guys, we do have sonicam here. He does not have a microphone, but he says he's on his phone, so we'll see how the quality works out on that one. Let me pull him in real quick.
Yeah.
Hello sonicam, GG. And congrats on your win, obviously.
Yeah, GG Sonic.
Hey, thank you guys.
Oh, hey, that's pretty good.
Hey man, that
works?
sounds really
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I'm using my iPhone. I didn't even know you can do this. This is awesome.
Sick.
Good old Apple products. So,
Oh
how
my
are you
God.
feeling about this seed?
That seed was so bad. I hated it.
Welcome to the support group.
Yeah,
Wow.
pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in
liked it.
therapy.
You guys are so mean to it. What did the seed ever do to you? Oh wait.
Certainly,
the
certainly a
worst.
display of all the possibilities of the randomizer.
Oh, I didn't even know how to route that. I had no idea.
That's what happened to me when I Pod Eastern didn't turn into anything, and I'm like, well, I got like 9 spots all across the world. I gotta check now, I guess. Walking.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
Of course, boots have to be in TR. Laser bridge.
Yeah.
With flute in the same area. Like, unbelievable.
Always.
There was
Yeah, I
just
mean-
no way to move around.
Why wouldn't it be? You already had a hammer in its vanilla dungeon, not quite the vanilla chest, but it was still in there. You
Yeah.
had a bow in a pendant tower of hair, a big chest, which was a little bit weird to see.
Yeah.
And no ice ride on the way, too. So I'm like, I really did not want to go into TR. So I even went back into Thieves Town, even though I had nothing, and to check the big chest with the hammer. And of course, piece of heart. I was just
Right.
hoping I wasn't going to refill my hearts because I was trying to death warp.
Yeah, we noticed that. I'll be the first to admit I was kind of hoping it would refill your hearts, but
no.
it didn't.
And I was a little tickled when I guess when Solski went back in, that heart piece did fill up his hearts, but he
No.
he was already not looking to do the death warp though, so it was fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what was Solski's time?
Let me go look real
201.
quick. Yeah, there we go.
203 according to the.
Yeah, SRL is 2:03
Oh, yeah,
and
2:03.
31 seconds.
Whoops.
And,
203? Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
2:03.
Yeah.
And TripleZed finished with a 2:09.
And we
Wow.
did just have Chexhuman finish up his Ganon fight.
Oh, great. GG to him.
Yeah. So all 4 finally in.
Yeah, GG to him. Let's see if I can get
A
an
harrowing
equal two.
seed.
At one point, I was debating finishing pod and blind pulling the pedestal without checking.
Yeah, I checked pedestal with the book, but I
Yeah.
wound up doing all the dependents anyway. I really did not want to go to TR without the ice rod, so I had like 2 chests left in pod, and it was a green pendant, so I'm like, nah, I have to go in there. And
Right.
of course, nothing.
Yeah, you were the only one of our runners who really did all the dungeons.
Oh, great. Fun stuff.
For what it's
It's fun-
worth, you won on your matchup, so
Yeah, I
At
guess
least
that's
you
true.
won. Funnily enough, Chexhuman was the only runner who picked up any kind of boomerang.
Oh,
we
wow.
ended up with both of them. I guess what was that? Probably from the full clear swamp.
Yeah,
Oh,
possibly,
swamp.
yeah.
Yeah, because having not had the bow beforehand, that was his go mode item. I think we mentioned, and
Ah.
yeah. So even with the ice rod in hand, it was like, well, I gotta find something.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I found anything in Swamp. I think even the boss had. Oh no, the boss had 10 arrows, I think. So
yeah, I think
there
it's
was
right.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, he also happened upon Quake, which was in the mirror spot up on the graveyard ledge. He didn't pick it up, but he saw it in there and was like, nope, that's not the wall I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't need that.
Alright, looks like Chexhuman is ready to go too. Let me pull him in real quick, then you guys can have a little word about this wonderful and not bad at all seed. Hello, Chexhuman. GG on finishing this seed.
Thanks,
GG.
GG.
Hey, GG, man.
So far, we're 2 people who think this was the worst seed that has ever happened, and 1 person who really enjoyed playing it. So, which side are you on?
Oh, I had the worst seed pretty several times in a row, so this one wasn't that bad.
It did send you all the way around. I guess we already talked with the other runners a little bit about it, but yeah, it forced double dip into Turtle Rock, weird vanilla hammer sort of, and pod, that bow that you didn't find for quite a while.
Yeah. The hammer was a big problem.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I was even thinking about going in pod when I was in South Tyrol, But I had Froggy with me, so I'm like, I really can't do that because I knew I could have swam from South Tyrol over to Pod, but I'm like, I have the Froggy anyway. Let me just take him.
Right, with no mirror, it made matters worse.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I hated it. Like, the routing was it was so hard to figure it out, and it was like a coin flip every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have to say, despite this being quite an awful seed, I will admit, you all did really well. It was still a reasonable time, at least I would say it was a reasonable time considering what it made you guys do.
Yeah. Ripped the sub 2 hours. I was really hoping for that, but that just wasn't going to happen, I guess.
Which was your go mode item? The bow?
What was that?
Was the bow your go mode item?
No, the ice rod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As soon as I got yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, as soon as I got the lamp, because I did my first crystal was Ice Palace, and then there was the lamp, and I had originally went into Death Mountain like without the lamp, trying to find stuff, and of course Light World Death Mountain had nothing, it didn't have anything. Right. So as soon as I found the lamp, so I'm thinking, all right, so that probably is opening up Death Mountain, and I have Titans, I have Hookshot, Hammer, so let me go up there and check Dark World Death Mountain, and then at first I did Hera before I went into the Dark World because I didn't have the mirror. I didn't want to make 2 trips.
Right, that's what I should have done.
Yeah.
Toward the end there, I figured that you went to Hera first because I took a trip to Spike Cave without really thinking of my route, and a trip to Turtle Rock without thinking of going to Hera first. So I figured if Hera has something, I've lost. That's why I did everything like the Thieves' Big Chest and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did that too.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not want to go up there with an ice rod, but I had to do it anyway.
Yeah, well. So, GG to all of you again. And congrats to the winners, of course. It was something.
Yeah.
Put it like that.
We were well entertained, if not also commiserating with you.
That's the important thing.
Yeah, as long as the viewers are happy.
Yeah.
It was definitely an entertaining watch. So, I'm going to give you guys the last words here for the interview. If you have anything else to say, or if you want to plug anything, if you want to plug yourself, if you want to give any shout-outs, go right ahead.
I don't have anything. Thanks for commentating, you guys. Thanks for the race.
Our pleasure.
Oh, always a pleasure.
Thanks for commentating, guys. Shout-outs to 2 Hour Seeds.
Yeah. The big 2H.
Shout out to 26. Good game, guys. Thanks for
Definitely.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Thank you, chat, for tuning in. Stick around on our other speed gaming channels. I believe we've got more rando for you. We've also got, from what I understand, some Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment coming up. Also check out Randomizer Mania and Randomizer Manias 2 through 4 for more rando. Other than that, shout outs to Feasel, Speed Game Community, tournament organizers. Give our runners a follow. You got those links in the chat. And I've been Epibliticus.
Yep, and I've been Herfy Durfy. I hope you guys have a great night.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Good night.